Hello everybody! I just thought I'd do a little demonstration of a mod I recently discovered, the Allocator mod. It's commonly found on the I'm terrible at talking if you're wondering. Minecraft.net website. It's a redstone type mod, somewhat similar to the dispenser in a way, except that when you place down a dispenser, let's go ahead and hook that up real quick. Really don't have to do much at all. Stone and a button. And let's just go ahead and grab, say, stack of... Most of you already know how these work, but still, just as a demonstration, when you press the button, I guess I actually have to wire it in directly. Sigh. Anyways, it'll actually dispense one of those items. Problem is, it won't actually take any items in. There's no way. It's a dispenser. That's kind of the entire purpose of it. The difference here is a new function called the Allocator. The way the Allocator works is the side that has the downward arrow is actually where it's pulling items in. The side that has the upward arrow is where it's throwing items out. Kind of obviously mean that's the dispensing side, plus if you look at the side, there's little arrows pointing in that direction. It'll take items from this side and throw them to the other side. And it's about to be sunset. The way this works is, let's just go ahead and toss some apples, press the button, and there you go. The entire function of it really is just that of kind of a in-between dispenser and something else, but it does have its advantages. As you've already seen a lot of the videos, if you've been watching anything on this, you can set a chest next to it, and then I guess it's a little bit too far. That's the only downside, is it has to be pretty close to it, but there is an advantage to that. But it'll actually put items in the chest, so that's a minor little convenience there. However, to explain an advantage to the whole distance thing, an easy solution is just to grab water bucket, do that, toss in some of those, and obviously they will drift down this direction towards the allocator once it's at a certain point. Just hit that, and there you go. They're all in the chest. You can also just set up a clock and have it be running around in circles, repeatedly activating this dispenser, or, good job, allocator, and obviously at that point, any items that go traveling down this water current will immediately be put into this chest. So, that's a little convenient function there. However, I'm going to be showing you something I've been working on, just as a little example of potential function for these allocators. It's a little bit of a challenge to set up if you're not really... It's not really advanced redstone, but it is kind of a little bit complicated for those who don't understand much about Minecraft at all. So we're just going to go ahead and set up a small section here for a launch. Then go ahead and set that one. Whoops. Don't really need a lot. And we're going to set 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to go ahead and actually put powered rails between these, although we really don't need to, just for the extra speed boost. And we'll bring it right back around. And just for good measure, go ahead and place one more. Grab some redstone, and a redstone torch, just so that I can power these. Really don't need to do it this way, but I feel like it. And we'll just toss one here. So we can put it there, there, and there. Now all those are powered. We're actually going to change this one, however. You know what, we'll just do it like this. I'm lazy, so screw it. The reason I do this is because I'm going to actually set up an inverter signal here. For those who don't know what an inverter is, just look them up online. I might be doing a tutorial for them later, but right now it's really not important. I'll explain that later, but like this. That way I can deactivate that by stepping on it. That way if the cart is going around in circles and I want it to stop, all I have to do is just step on this and it'll immediately stop. That way I don't have to be standing on it while it's moving. But anyways, moving along, I can just type clear. I'm going to go ahead and grab a minecart chest, one of the new functions, which is also in this mod, called a chest trap. I will explain that in a second, but for now I just want to go ahead and set this up. An allocator, redstone lamp, redstone, repeater, torch, and some colored wool. Now for this, since we have 4 different setups, we need to go ahead and have 4 different colors. But for me to actually set this up first, let's just go ahead and set up these allocators. I believe that's the direction you place them in. Yeah, so whichever direction you're facing is actually where it's going to go. It'll pull from your side and send to the other side, in case you're wondering. That just makes it a little bit easier for placement purposes. Then we're going to use these chest traps. Place one here, 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 and here, right on the other side, because as you know, allocators will take the item and put them into the chest. They will, as I'm about to show you, take items from a minecart chest, which is really good for storage functions. Now here, we're going to go ahead and establish one of the other features of the allocator, which is a filtration system. Whatever item you put in this block is the only item that it'll pull and toss into that direction. So to show how that works real quick, let's just go ahead and set one up here. And I guess we should go ahead and just grab... I'll just use a lever. I'm lazy. Just a fun fact, doing that will not constantly activate it, so you can't just throw an item and it'll have it pull it. You actually have to reactivate it. And again, the whole distance thing. But to explain the whole function of this, let's just go ahead and grab a stack of roses. Come on. Thank you. Just put a rose in there, and now obviously if I toss out this lever in front of it, nothing's going to happen. But if I toss a few roses, that'll work. Basically it's a filtration system to where this... apparently you can't actually select it with item in hand, but it'll only select whatever item is actually in that filter. So that's a useful feature. Anyways, I don't like that. Go ahead and toss away these roses, because we don't really need them. Now what we're going to do here basically is set up a sorting system. Now first things first, let's just go ahead and toss this down, because we really don't need it yet. But what we're going to do here is set up 4 little layers of redstone. Now each of these is going to be filtered, so we're going to use, say, green wool for this one. And for those wondering, this is just a small little repeater loop so that this is above the chest but not directly above it, because as you know, if you put an item directly above a chest, unless it's transparent, you won't be able to open that chest. This does apply to these as well. So that's kind of just a little repeater system, so it'll go around and back to this light. Oops, did not mean to do that. Alright, we need another colored wool, so we'll just use red for this one. For this one, we'll use, I don't know, cyan. Why not? Oops. Just set up those repeaters. I call them repeaters, but you knew what I meant, torches. And for this one, what would be a good item for this? No, we'll just use yellow, because we'll use golden apples for this one. Alright, so these are little lights. The way the chest trap works is when an item is being put in or taken out, it will emit a redstone signal or activate any blocks that use redstone. So this redstone here will actually activate when a block is put in this. As an example, as you can tell, or if I take the item back out, it activates it. So that's kind of a useful feature, especially in this system. This is really just to tell me whether or not this is actually working, but it's also because, hey, flashy. Now, the way this was actually going to work is we can get rid of most of these now because we really don't need any of these anymore. We're pretty much already set up. The only thing we actually have to do is grab the items. So let's get a stack of cactus and a single cactus. I can go ahead and toss away this allocator. A stack of apples and a single apple, a stack of golden apples and a single golden apple, and a stack of raw fish and another single fish. The reason for the singles is, remember, that's green, so let's go ahead and filter this only cactus. That only apples. This one fish, because it's closest to cyan, so whatever. And this one with golden apples. So now, hypothetically, the way this actually will work is I can put all these items in here. Now all I have to do is just push this, and as you can see, it's activating all these. As it's pulling in from these this going over the detector rails, which is activating the allocator right next to it. It's pulling from the chest into this chest, which is activating this light system. As you can see, there are only golden apples in the yellow chest, only fish in the cyan chest, apples in the red chest, and cactus in that one. Although, I've noticed for some reason, sometimes it doesn't always work right if there's adjacent redstone like this for some reasons. I don't even know if that has anything to do with it or not. You'll notice this chest already has a lot more and it's pulling 2 every time it hits it, rather than just 1. I don't know why, I don't know if that's a bug or just some kind of glitch that I'm causing. I really don't understand it entirely, but it's not really supposed to do that. It's pulling 2 when it's supposed to have much less, but it's not even always pulling 2. It's at 30 now, while this is at 17, so I don't really understand that entirely. But now I can just step on this, and it'll stop. And that's a redstone sorting system using the allocator.